Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome back to Ringlight Fables. I'm your host and dungeon master Skijaramaz, otherwise known as Toneshift, and with me today we have our full cast of players and a flickering OBS. That's concerning. But first we have SepiaWolfe playing Tuki Fletcher, our Kraven rogue. Sepia, that's your cue to say something.
I did say something. Hello?
Oh, there we go. There you are.
Hello.
I don't know Hello. That was weird. We have...
Greetings and salutations.
Yeah, I can hear you now. We have Mick playing Boron, our half-dwarven fighter.
Greetings.
We have Willyzin playing Ludviek, our Ithari paladin.
Good evening, and good day.
We have Goldwyn playing Minnove, our kobold bard.
Hello.
And last but not least, arriving somewhat late, we have Impulsive playing Kari, our Kraven bard.
Skij, I really appreciate that you let us out of the basement once a week to play this game, but could we please get some water while we play too? I haven't had any in 3 weeks.
Go talk to
Just
Doug
drink your
about
piss.
that.
No.
Look, man, if you want water, you gotta go talk to Doug, all right? He's just leasing his basement out to me.
He told me to ask ChatGPT, and ChatGPT just told me what water's made of.
Well, that's not my problem, all right? I'm just paying the rent to use it to store you people. So
No.
that is I don't actually know Doug, so all of that was just a bit. Anyways, so where last we left off.
Basement am I in?
I don't know. Yours? Probably yours. So, where last we left off, our newly come together band of adventurers had largely eliminated the threat of the gang being led by one Jaka Bleakfeather that had been conning and fleecing the town of Lambsong for the people's hard-earned coin with the deception of a beast known as a Lugarith. With their leadership defeated and captured and their ranks scattered, the party also had rescued a young boy named Percy that the Bleakfeathers had captured, seemingly as a panic response to realizing he was at all involved in one of their actions. Tuki Fletcher took it upon herself, in part just as a matter of impatience and also in the hopes of maybe keeping the yearning off her back for a few minutes longer, traveled on ahead to Lambsong with Percy to leave him in town and get him back into safe quarters and figure out what all's going on. But it all eventually escalated when the last of the Bleakfeathers' leaders, their spokesman, Ben and Geordie, wound up taking Percy hostage, holding him at blade point to try and compel the town to let him leave unharmed after his other crimes were made very apparent. A desperate gambit from Tuki didn't quite pan out the way everyone would have liked, as it did lead to Percy getting hurt, but Bannon was all the same brought to justice, and though he is now sporting a new scar, Percy shall live, thanks to the timely intervention of Ludviek and his healing magic. Following this, Jaka and his remaining subordinates were locked away in essentially the drunk tank of the town, while word of recent events made it back to the mayor, who eventually came to speak with the party at the inn and tavern, the Lambsong Inn, following the chaos of the day, where it was generally figured that what's most likely going to happen to Jaka and his gang is Jaka is almost certainly going to be executed at some point. The word of that's likely going to be handled by someone a little higher up on the proverbial totem pole than this small village's mayor, while his subordinates are being given a little bit of leeway in the hopes that maybe they can turn things around. Where last we left off, that plan was still somewhat shaky, but more or less as firm as can be, as the mayor ventured off to said drunk tank to question Jaka and his subordinates, while everyone else settled in to get some rest and calm their nerves after a chaotic and emotionally very tense day. And that was where we left off, and therefore where we shall resume. Now, unless anyone had anything specific left over that they wish to do during the course of this day, which is, I will remind everyone, currently like late in the evening. I guess dinner time right now, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you want to do, Minnove?
I would like, so are we doing the idea of grabbing the coin and giving it to Percy, or that the town gave? I don't know if we came to that conclusion together as a team.
I will say, like, you have not been paid for this yet.
No, but like I'm talking about the money that the bandits stole, or I guess we're paid.
We returned all of that money, and then Boron looted 20 gold, gave everybody 4. When Minnove suggested the pile, Tuki gave all 4 that Boron had given her. Ludviek gave 3 and kept 1 for himself, and I believe Minnove put in the 4 and an extra 5 from her own personal.
5. So that's 12 right there.
The equivalent of about $1,200.
I mean, it's pretty good. He could buy a house when he's older. Put in investment.
Yeah.
Put in stock.
It's a start.
Assuming
that a single copper piece is worth about $1.
Mm-hmm. Minnove's going to take the pouch. All right. Well, Jenny. You're the one I trust the most with this, and she will give Jenny the 12 gold in like a little coin pouch. This is for Percy.
Much obliged, love. I'll put it to good use for him. Trust me.
Thank you.
Don't rightly know how
Invested
much.
in stock.
I mean, I've got a barrel full of chicken stock in the back room, but I don't know if I need 12 gold worth of that. That is the stupidest fucking joke I have ever told, I think.
12 gold doesn't really get you far in chicken stock. Have you ever thought about crypto?
Hang on, I gotta...
Please, never fucking say that again.
Okay, so Kari does not develop a migraine. He almost does though.
He thinks about it.
That's going in out of context. 12 gold will get you far in chicken stock.
As far as that chicken futures just keep on multiplying.
Oh my god, my cheeks hurt.
We've barely started and already we've injured one of you. Fantastic.
Hey, he wasn't injured. Oh wait, you meant Goldwyn.
I'm talking
I
about.
thought you meant a character.
No, I'm talking about Goldwyn because her cheeks hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, investing in chickens is good. It makes quite the nest egg.
Okay.
Enough for now.
Now Kari gets a headache.
You know what? You know what? You come into my house and you deliver a pun like that. What a fool you are. Divine skeleton death beam.
Anyways. Oh my god. Anyways. There was
Hey, there's one natural 99 in there. Neat.
Great.
Whoa.
I think we die.
A couple of those did not beat my AC, so you're gonna have to roll damage to see if Kari dies.
No, that was the damage. Anyway.
Anyways, back to the story.
Yes, please.
The advert's over. Minnove's gonna smile as she could, be like, "Thank you, Jenny. Very much appreciate your hospitality."
Well, Percy might not be my kid, but he is one of ours.
Yeah, I'm also just more or less talking about being kind to me and my friends. It goes a long way in this world.
I wish more people caught on to that.
Yeah, me too. Either way, probably will. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, but I probably will spend the night and then I will head out.
All right. Real quick, actually, the lot of you.
What?
Jenny kind of puts on a smile, is like, just so we're all clear, after all this mess, and your part in cleaning it all up. If any of you need a place to stay, far as I'm concerned, you always got a place to stay here, no charge.
Thank you, Jenny.
By
the way,
thank you.
That's very nice of you.
I do have an inquiry.
Shoot.
Guppy, did he ever find Kari's lost purse?
Yes, I was going to ask about that.
He hasn't gotten back to me about that yet. Fortunately, if I were to crack a guess, I'm willing to hazard that your money was in the hands of one of the people who wound up scarpering this morning. So, unless you've got like some uber magic that lets you track something from miles away, there's a pretty solid chance that that's just gone now.
I do not think even Minnove's sniffer is that good to find.
You seem to really think my sniffer isn't like. Okay, hang on. Maybe I could, Ludviek. You never know.
Well,
Be possible.
I'm gonna sniff the air just to see if I can smell it.
make a perception check. It smells like beer and pork roast in here.
Oh, that's the perfect that one.
Yeah, it smells like
You
beer.
have advantage on it though.
I do, but I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take that one with
respect.
with
Commit to
respect.
the bit. Respect for that.
Okay. I can respect that.
If it was not a nat one, I might have rolled advantage. But because it's a nat one, I'll take it. God said no.
It's I mean, also, I just don't want you guys to have 1,000 gold pieces at level 4. That seems like a bit much.
Yeah. What is it, Minnove? What do you smell?
Man flesh.
Kari, did you smell like? What the hell is that perfume you're wearing? Oh my goodness!
I suppose that's one downside of a kobold scent to smell. Sometimes it's a little too sharp, huh?
My eyes are watering.
I'm sorry, Kari. It appears we may not be able to find your gold after all.
That was 1,000 gold pieces.
You invested in chicken stock. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh god. Now I have a seed for an NPC in the future.
It's the cabbage merchant, but the chicken stock merchant.
No, it's just like the bandit who got 1,000 gold pieces and turned his life around with it. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so.
Short-term goal acquired.
Right. Right, well. Just let me know if y'all need anything, right?
Thank you. So,
Thank you.
and Minnove's gonna turn to the others. What's your plan after all this?
Oh, we're still heading to the Academy City, right?
Aye, that was the plan.
Anterine?
I just go.
No, not Antarine. Antarine is not the Academy City. It is on the way.
Oh.
The Academy City is Asmara, and that is up here.
Yes. Yes, actually, now that I think on it, Minnove, Kari, you quite don't know. You don't know what brought us to this town. That actually would be. Well then, I suppose. Boron, would you mind if I tell it, or would you?
Nah, you do that. That's more like your thing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Well, to summarize, Boron, Tuki, myself, and another, who basically found ourselves over in Canala's Rest not less than a week ago. And O'Donnell also plays a part in this as well. To summarize, we had found ourselves trapped by a madwoman who had apparently been preying on people of Canala's Rest, specifically for some sick game of torture and destruction, death, and disease. It was quite harrowing.
I would imagine.
Yes, but because but through the efforts. Sorry, I bit my tongue.
It's now going to expand.
Yeah. Basically, he's gonna go into the whole story. Long story short, of basically how him, Boron, Tuki, Tristan, and O'Donnell met. Basically, they're captured at the hands of the crazy governess, right? Governess?
Basically, like mayor, governess. There's a number of different terms that in Valrivi society are interchangeable for basically meaning and being in charge of a town. There's landlord,
She was a
mayor,
Baron.
governess.
Anyway,
Fair
she was
enough.
insane. She was totally insane. Absolutely crazy. And while we tried to bring her in as well, it did not work her cut that way. She passed. And now, we're taking Donald back to the city of Asmara to reunite with his family and to hopefully see some justice brought to the victims, the multitude of victims that I remember her name in character, but I do not remember it in person.
The Veronica Shayala was the name of the lady.
Veronica. Yes.
Wow.
Who keeps playing with
Can-
Legos?
I cannot believe, number one, I thought the mic was muted. And number two, I cannot believe Ludviek is, sorry, I'm multitasking right now.
Anyway, he tells the whole
but
story. He tells the whole story to them, how they came here, and that they plan to head out the next chance they get, probably after the whole trial is done.
Yeah.
And that's how Boron.
Although you're
Tuki,
not
and-
necessarily needed for the trial. Like, I will remind y'all that Boron kind of indicated to the mayor that y'all were thinking you were just gonna head out come the morning.
Yes.
It's not really
tisk, downplaying the heroics of Tristan.
Wow, that guy sounds like an asshole.
Indeed.
He was quite. Can't argue with that.
It was quite aggravating.
It's amazing.
He sounds like someone who would have grated me.
Minnove, you would know this as a local of Antarine. You would know that as far as like the administration of local laws and justice and whatnot, Kanala's Rest would technically fall under the governance of Antarine.
I mean, could see what they have in Anterine. If you'll see what Anterine can aid you with.
Ooh.
There's some governance in Anterine and Kanala's Rest.
That would solve half the problem.
Yeah.
But still, I did make a promise to escort O'Donnell back to Osmana. And that is along the way, I do believe.
Yeah, it's one of the main roads to take there, unless you want to take the back roads or the trails or the many foresters. But there is the river that cuts through, so the bridge is probably the best bet.
Most likely. Well, how about you and Kari? Have you any plans as well? You're welcome to join us if you so like. Well, I at least isn't an offer.
Well, I have someone to meet in Anterine I'd like to see, so I can join you as far as there if you'd like.
And, I have no real plan on where I'm going, so might as well. Besides, it sounds like your group gets into enough interesting scrapes that I could, maybe write a little story about it.
Indeed. Who knows? With our luck, maybe we'll even find your thief.
Okay, you know what? That is actually kind of a perfect thing. Out of character for a second, sort of pausing for a moment. I mentioned to Sepia a couple days, like earlier today or yesterday, I think, that while the events of this story are canon to the wider Pale Ring setting, there is a chance that because of how D&D 5th edition works, some things might wind up spiraling a little out of the scope that the Pale Ring setting usually allows for. And thanks to what Kari just said, I now have a perfect excuse for that. It's just him spinning some bullshit, unless he dies, in which case,
And in which case, Kari Jr. will come along and spin some Oh, who are you? Oh, I'm Kari Jr.
No.
Well, I thought it was going to be his twin brother, Mari.
They're octuplets.
Figured no.
Okay, back in character. I just wanted to talk about that because that's fun. All right, so proceed.
But I know some connections in Antarine, and I can at least take you over there, and depending on how it goes, can part ways there, or however it may be. Not here to impose on any pre-made plans or anything of the sort. Just a wanderer.
You would impose nothing but your fine company.
I prefer to avoid Anterine, but oh well.
It is most likely the safest path, Boron. Staying on the road.
Oh well.
Plus, you do have that, donkey you bought, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Much easier for a beast of burden to travel on the road.
At the very least, it'll mean that you'll be able to travel at a normal pace instead of a slow one, because Donald can just sit on the mount.
That was the reason why I bought it.
Figures the NPC's just sitting on his ass.
He's emaciated. He hasn't had the opportunity to rebuild his muscle mass yet. He can barely walk without help.
No, Skitch. He's sitting on his ass.
Yeah.
The donkey?
It's
The asshole?
actually my ass.
It's actually Boron's ass. Anyways. This become a
Just
very
loaded
silly
to him.
session.
Anyway, so lightning strikes Ludviek.
Either or. I plan on
I
taking a. Yes.
I was just going to say that I will probably be heading on to Asmara either way.
What?
Eventually. Just, even if we take care of things in Antarine, I do have some personal things that I might want to do in Asmara.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
That's just
It seems we are traveling companions.
For now.
that's just more work in the capital for a merc like me.
Listen there, Boron. You at least gained 2 very funny, very entertaining bards.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't sound enthused.
Let's enthuse him, Kari.
Oh no. I'm being enthused against my will.
That is a sentence, is what that is. Okay, so...
That's 2 for the history books this session.
I am being enthused against my will. Are you typing it in sepia?
You're faster than I am, go for it.
Okay. All right,
All
so
right.
yeah, I mean with a 27 performance, yeah, it's pretty enthusing.
But
Okay.
is he enthused?
That depends.
Apparently, I
You know what?
I don't have a saving throw high enough.
No, but we can still gauge how enthused. Make a charisma saving throw for me, please.
Oh no.
This is PvP.
This
Yeah.
is peak Dungeons and Dragons. 17. All right.
Oh.
You are. I mean, yeah, it's enjoyable. Like, it's like, okay, fine, you're playing good music, it's a good song, okay, I'll sway a bit, I'll tap my foot, but I'll be grumpy about it. You're tsundere about it. It's like, okay, fine, yes, this is good music, baka.
More or less, yeah.
Exactly. Jesus Christ, okay. Okay. Yeah, I got to use the comedy
either or.
playlist for a moment.
Good job, Kari. We did it. He's there's like at least a little bit of a hair rise on his.
We did it. Vamasimo. We did it.
Is that Dora
All right.
the
Well, with that
Explorer?
said,
Yes.
Oh, she's fantastic. Gonna go to bed, y'all. Everyone, enjoy. I don't know if anyone wants to do drinking, and if anyone does, please wake me up. Because I would enjoy a good drink off. Again, test my guts. But otherwise, it's been a long fucking day.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed early as well, since I'm getting up early, which is unusual for Boron.
I thought Boron was gonna spend the night guarding the prisoners.
Oh,
Ludviek.
right. Even worse. Okay, I will.
All right. I mean, Like, unless there's
Is that
anything
not Ludviek?
specific you guys wish to tackle directly, nothing interesting is going to be prompted by me over the course of this night. So,
Okay.
Nope.
Nothing really.
all right, then everyone
Just does
goes
that.
to either just hit the hay in their in-rooms that are now being just offered by Jenny as part of the quest reward for the first major quest, while Boron is keeping an eye on the prisoners. All
With
right.
Ludviek.
With Ludviek. All right, so everyone takes a long rest. I will even let Boron take a long rest.
Yay. I don't
And-
need one.
And technically speaking, like, right now is when your level up would technically come into effect. As you slept and meditated on the things you have learned. Anyway, so, it is the following morning. And I'm just going to roll something real quick.
That's never a good sign.
That was supposed to be a 1d2. Okay, so, Boron, do you remain in that drunk tank thing all night, like all the way until sunrise, or do you just hang up for a while and then swap out for someone else? Like, what's your game plan here?
We are swapping out between Ludviek and me.
Okay. Who's going first then?
Oh, Boron will be.
Okay, then Boron is would be asleep at this point, which means Ludviek will get this then.
Oh.
So,
Oh no.
yeah, so Ludviek, you have been keeping watch on Jaka and his subordinates in their cells. His subordinates are very clearly anxious, but you get the impression that at some point Jaka spoke to them so that they are visibly anxious but don't appear to be panicking or anything of the sort. And Jaka just seems resigned. He pretty much has not moved from where he has been sitting on his one cot. He just plumped himself there and has not moved the whole night. Like, he's sitting up, he's breathing, but he's just not moving. He is checked out. It is as the sun is coming up, marking the 3rd day of the 12th week of the season of summer, that, let's see here, another kind of gray, cloudy day, a few patches of blue visible, just barely visible through the overcast cover. The door pops open and the mayor steps in. Ah, good. I was hoping to have a chance to speak with you.
Ah, Mayor. Remind me of his name.
Moron Dace.
Morandes. Ah, Mr. Mayor Dace. Yes. How fare you this morning?
Well, as could be expected, I didn't sleep as well as I would have liked, but what can you do?
Troubled times.
I'm given to understand you and your friends will be setting out this morning, yes?
Most likely, yes.
And you are traveling west, I take it, towards Anterine?
Yeah, that actually is one of our goals. It involves Canala's Rest and our friend Donald. Too long of a tale.
Well, it's about to get a little bit longer, because I actually have a request to make. And he sort of reaches down to his side and procures 2 things. The first is a fairly hefty coin pouch and a sealed envelope. And he passes them both forward to you. Here. Would you be willing to do a ill-prepared old man a favor and see that this letter make it into the hands of the garrison commander in Anterine?
The garrison commander. Ah,
Yes.
if I had to assume, it's to get yourself your own watch.
Partly that, partly because, well, and he glances sideways at Jaka and his subordinates, because on account of our lack of meaningful law enforcement in this town, there's not much we can do about them. The garrison commander more or less oversees the the law enforcement arms of things under the jurisdiction of the Cadam in Anterine. You deliver that letter to him. It basically goes over everything that happened here. Asks for them to take Jaka to Anterine to face proper judgment for his crimes. And puts in a good word for you.
Ah. And this commander, what is his name? Do you know?
I do. Give me a moment. His name is Lucas Ferrelith.
Lucas Ferrelith. Ludviek makes a mental note of that.
I've not spoken with the man in person. We've exchanged extremely stick-up-the-ass correspondence a handful of times during my tenure as mayor of Lambsong. He's a professional individual, but I can't tell you much more than that, regrettably. As for the coin pouch I handed you, and he points to it, that is reward for bringing Jaka and his subordinates to justice in your way.
Ah.
It's not nearly as much as they pilfered from us over the course of their scam. But, given the fact you did liberate us from a very real threat, it seemed only fitting that you be compensated. I'm given to understand you and yours did put your lives at risk for us when we're basically strangers to you. And that deserves reward.
I am sure the rest will find this most appreciated. We thank you very much.
And in that coin purse is enough gold pieces for everyone to get 20.
All right. I'll make sure to do that later.
Yeah.
Oh my
100.
god.
Yeah.
That's retirement money.
Hardly.
I wish.
That's like $2,000 a person, which is nice money, but that's also like the equivalent of a paycheck.
No, all right. So, it was a
Think
sealed
that's more
letter,
money than
right?
Tuki's seen in her entire life.
What was that, Will?
That was a sealed letter, right?
Yes.
Is what?
Yeah, he wants
Sealed
you to deliver a
letter
sealed letter
for-
to the garrison commander in Antarine.
Yep. Just was putting that as an inventory item.
All
Bada
right.
boom. All right.
All right. Well then,
I will make sure that this arrives post haste.
very good. You watch yourself out there soon, and
Sooner watches us all.
so she does.
For as we travel her earth, we will see many things. And we will see each other. I'm that, I'm sure. He gives a smile and then shakes Boron to wake him up.
What?
Tis morning, Boron.
Again.
Yes, again.
What you got there?
To which, sorry, I didn't hear what he said. My earphones busted. What'd you say?
I heard a certain jingle come from the pouch, and
Oh, yes.
he goes, "What you got there?"
Ludviek holds it up and says, "A gift from the mayor to us and our fine adventuring group for the work in taking care of bandits."
That's a lot of money.
Yes. Let's go make sure we give it to the rest. Come on. They're probably getting awake, and I am quite hungry.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the store they have here and see if I can
in that case, Ludviek gives
get something.
Yeah, gives Boron his share.
All right.
The 20 he has.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. What's Boron after as he goes to Juma's shop, which is just opening?
A spear.
A spear. Right, because
A
you
spear.
wanted to update your weapon. That's right. Okay.
So I can do slashing, piercing, and crushing damage.
Indeed. As I recall, hadn't we discussed basically a slightly tweaked version of a spear that was basically just a long axe?
Yeah, but I don't think he'll have that ready for me. I might have to craft that myself at some point.
I mean, a poleaxe is a fairly common weapon in medieval societies. It basically blends the benefits of a spear and an axe, but whether or not whether or not you can get it at a general shop is another matter.
Yeah.
I'd imagine a lumber town might have it.
Maybe.
Probably.
Like you might have a wood chopping axe. Whether or not it is a a polearm style battle axe is another matter. You know what? I am just gonna roll a thing here.
Well, except I was going to craft it. Just get an axe and a pole and some twine. Bada boom. Pole axe.
All right. So, as you go to Juma's shop and ask about whether or not he has an axe fitting that description, he sort of pipes and was like, "Well, generally speaking, I don't tend to carry weaponry in here the vast majority of the time. Fascinatingly enough, no, I do have something like that. Only one, and I do not believe it was made here in this town. A band of travelers that came through here before you said they had no use for it. Sold it off to me, and it's just kind of been collecting dust on my shelf ever since." And he sort of wanders into a back room and comes back a second later with this long polearm with an axe head, this sort of a leather wrapping sort of crisscrossing all along the long shaft as he sets it down.
Nice.
Yes. I personally have absolutely no use for this thing, and it's just taking up space in my shop.
I'll give it a quick whirl to see the balance.
It's not like a masterpiece or anything, but it seems functional. It's got good balance.
Serviceable.
Yeah, like you could see yourself using this. It's not badly made. It won't turn heads with its craftsmanship, but maybe that's a good thing.
Okay, sounds good. What do you want for it? So.
Something like that. I'd be happy to part with it for a single gold coin.
That's fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
You pass him the gold coin, and you now have a long axe, which is effectively it's basically just a spear, but instead of doing piercing damage, it does slashing damage, and I don't think it can be thrown particularly well.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
To compensate for that, we could probably just bump it up to a D8.
Nah, that would be more than compensating it.
Fair enough. If you want to keep it as just the decent... All right, fair enough.
D6 is probably good.
Okay. All right, so you have that stowed away in your pack. Let's see here. Also, before Minnove gets confused about it again, I'm going to delete the wooden ring.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gone. No one will be confused by it ever again.
I appreciate it.
All right. So, I assume after that everyone reconvenes at the inn?
Minnove is happily eating some breakfast. Some bacon and eggs, if there is bacon and eggs.
There's definitely bacon,
and
there's probably some eggs, sure.
Heck yeah.
All right.
She has a lot of bacon on her plate.
Lot of pig. That's probably the smell of pork roast you were picking up last night, actually. All right, so after a short time, Ludviek and Boron return. When Boron's toting a brand new weapon.
Where'd you get that?
Laura here.
Very correct.
It's The way that Jaka used his glaive gave me an idea. I wanted to try out.
Interesting.
I said
Very-
Kari and Tuki are with Minnove, right?
I'm assuming
Tuki,
Yeah.
Tuki's always awake first, and she's probably pacing.
All right. Well, then Ludviek would go to everyone and just hand them their 20 gold pieces that they are due.
Oh my god, what?
This is gift
What?
from Mayor of Lambsong.
And in the pale ring, what?
Well, it's a decent chunk of change.
A decent?
so.
Yes.
Oh right, I'm talking to the gentleman that had 1,000 gold and just lost it.
Yes, I guess
You
if
know
that's
what
what you
1,000 gold could buy? Oh my god.
Yes. Jenny, please keep an eye out for any suspiciously large purchases.
Well, on the
You
right
know-
side there, Kari, you are 1/50th of the way away.
Oh my god.
Excellent.
It really sucks that you lost that.
Yeah, well, it happens.
How'd you win it? Did you gamble?
Oh, I don't like that laugh.
He's robbed the casino.
Oh.
When
I guess you could say that gambling was involved at somewhere along the line.
Well,
When,
hmm.
oh, okay, I was just gonna say when Ludviek hands it Tuki her share, he notices her pacing and he says, "How are you this morning? Is the yearning striking you very hard?"
Yes. Sorry, hard to focus.
Have you at least had
I-
some breakfast?
Had what? No.
Well then,
Let's pack some for the road.
I would say yes. Johnny, might you have any jerky or bacon for the road?
That would be delicious.
I mean, sure, I could get you some. I'm not necessarily sure how long it will last. It's not dry tack or field rations, but I could probably wrap you up some cuts of pig.
Just for the day.
Just for a day? Alright. In that case. So, in that case, for just like a... Let's see, I'm trying to find a thing here. Where the hell does it talk about bread? It doesn't talk about bread. Wait, there it is. There's a... Okay. Alright, so, for, using that as a jumping off bit of reference, I'll say that just for, like, a day's worth of, for a day's worth of bacon, we'll say, like, say 8 copper.
Easily done.
Yeah. Round it up to, like, just a silver to keep the math easy.
Oh, I actually had 8 copper coins on my hand, so that
Never
was
mind.
perfect.
All right. All right, so Tuki gets to enjoy some bacon for the day.
That's
And,
the first hour, just like holding it, but not eating.
Well, does anyone by chance know how far Antarine is from Lambsong?
Well,
About 2 days, I believe, at normal pace.
but you do have the ass.
I do have an ass, yes.
Minnove kind of grins at herself.
It's like, well, I am prepared for such a journey. Are the rest of you up on your supplies? Is there anything else you need before heading out?
Not really.
I would like to buy a book.
Let's say let's get our shopping done and meet on edge of town in hour time.
Hour sounds perfectly fine.
All right. Ludviek does not have to buy anything, but he goes to Tuki and says, "Was there anything you need, Tuki? Maybe say goodbye to shopkeep."
I could do that, yeah.
I figured you did mention him, how you had made friends.
Yeah, we'll.
Nod and kind of absently follow Minnove.
On the way to the shop, we're going shopping. Da, 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 da.
All right. Yep. Easy enough to make your way to Juma's shop.
Keep it company.
What's his name again? Sorry.
Juma.
Juma, thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't write my notes last session, so I had no idea.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hello there, Juma. I'd like to have some books or journal or quill or pens or something of the sort to write or draw or do whatever I'd like with.
It was a specific request. Well, all right. A book, you say? Book's easy enough. Just like an empty journal book, you're saying?
Yeah, just something with simple, just simple blank pages. Nothing too special about it. Doesn't even have to look pretty, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a lot. Just an empty journal book's a lot more affordable, let me tell you. And he sort of peruses around his shelf for a second and comes back with just a plain old sort of brown leather journal. Sort of sets it down. Here you are. This one alone, yeah, about a gold piece, just for an empty one.
Oh, all right, let's do that.
Yeah, if it had a bunch of writing in it, it would be 25 gold pieces, according to.
Oh my God!
Books are a luxury in medieval settings, as it so happens.
Well, good thing I'm writing one.
All right, that is a long-term investment. Let's see.
Anything else that you might have that might be of substantial help for us? We're going to Anterine and then Asmara, I believe. So just something to at least help us get to Anterine, or
I'm not
help.
really sure that. I mean, aside from provisions for the road, which you'd get from Jenny, there's not really a whole lot I can offer you for a trip to Antarine. I deal in like mundanities for the most part.
Oh, mundanities.
Yeah,
Maybe a walking stick.
I already had one.
He doesn't happen to have any like potions of healing on him.
No. And I will also just real quickly remind you, if anyone has any potions of healing, please rename them to healing pearls. That is something that is being updated from Kanala's Rest. I should have gone over at some point. Because of a staggering lack of magical plants in this setting, because of how the magic system works, healing potions basically don't exist. Instead, what you have are healing pearls, which can only be used once per day, but are essentially reusable.
Oh.
Yeah, you swallow one, it heals you while it's in your system, and then as long as you clean it really thoroughly, you can technically use it again.
Do you have any kits or any tools of some sort?
I mean, I could probably get you a lantern.
Ooh, that might be good. We have, Tuki, you can't see too well in the dark, can you?
No, not really.
Perfect. We'll get one of those. Oh, make that 3.
Three lanterns. All right. Do you want hooded or bullseye?
Hooded is the ones where you can cover them up, and then bullseye is the one that's just open, right?
I mean, the idea is that a bullseye creates a more concentrated stream, so it's illuminates a specific circle in front of you. A hooded lantern is, it's just a cylinder that glows bright. You don't really control where the light goes. It just spills out all around you. I will
What do
say
you
that
think, Tuki?
the hooded lantern is cheaper. I will tell you that.
What do you think, Tuki?
Probably all around light.
So the hooded. Probably for the best, because I don't see a bullseye being anywhere useful, especially for on the road. I mean, I guess it's more dense and it goes further, but that's about it. And honestly, I can see pretty good in the dark, so it's useless to me.
I would see it being more useful in a cave setting, but we're just on the road.
Oh, you're so smart, Tuki. That is so right. Right. Yes, we will get. Make that 2 actually. I'll go down. But we'll do 2 hooded.
All right, 2 hooded. You suckers take a fair bit of work, so. And he sort of brings 2 of them out, sets them down on the counter with the sort of heavy metallic for each. Right, for 2 of these, only about 10 gold to get them both.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So you get 2 hooded lanterns.
All right. Anything else you think we might need, Tuki?
I'm not really sure. Everything in my pack has kept me going for the last 2 years or so.
2 years?
Yeesh.
Well, as that may be, I believe that will be all there, Juma. Thank you so much for your business.
Thank you. Take care of yourselves out there, eh?
Aye.
All right.
And Minnove will spin on out with her book, with her journal in hand.
Mm-hmm. And we'll just say you also got an inkwell and a pen while you were at it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it simple. I assume you already had an ink and a pen already.
I have. Yeah, I had an ink and I have oil. I don't think I have a pen.
Well, I'll just assume you have an ink pen.
Cool.
Yeah, just
I
keep it
do.
simple.
I do. I didn't.
There you go,
I
then.
didn't see it on my resources.
Yeah. All right. So there's your shopping complete. While reconvening at the western end of town.
That's the plan.
All right.
Yep.
So you're kind of getting together. I assume Boron's the one who ultimately got Donald because Boron's the one with the ass.
Correct.
Yep.
All right. So you're kind of getting Donald situated on the donkey's back as everyone else is starting to sort of convene. It has been a long time since I've been on the back of a beastie like this. Please don't throw me off. That does not inspire confidence.
Hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
I wanted the card, but those are too expensive.
That's fine. All of you got good, strong legs. Look at me. And it kind of like pinches like a shriveled fold of flesh, sort of like his ankle, sort of rolls up his pant leg and pinches it as like, I'm still trying to get muscle mass back.
Yeah, that's gross. Oops, I said that out loud.
You did, yes.
Anyway,
But-
anyway.
The thing is you're not wrong. I am very much in a gross state right now. That's why I'm very eager to get back home and be not gross for a while.
Is he really that bad? Tuki asked if he's really that bad.
He's worse off than you, that's for sure. You might be worn ragged, but at the very least, you are not atrophied. This guy is still atrophied.
Yeah, that takes months to build up.
Yeah. And, probably just the joints of his shoulders are horribly damaged too, because he spent a lot of his time basically low-key crucified to a wall without the nails.
Goof.
So, yeah, this guy is a lot worse off than you, Tuki.
I'd like to give him one check over, just to be sure that he's healing right.
Medicine check.
Yes.
23. Giving Donald a quick examination, you conclude that given the circumstances of the last week that you've been going about, he is in as good condition as could be expected.
We'll make sure to work on your legs when we get time to rest later.
All right. So, Antarine's our next port of call, is it?
Mhm.
Makes sense. As you're sort of gearing up to head out, however, one thing briefly stops you. You hear Jenny's voice sort of hollering out, "Oi!" And y'all sort of collectively
What?
turn, and you see Jenny sort of coming your way with Percy kind of seated on her shoulders.
Oh,
Kind of,
hello!
Percy waves enthusiastically. Jenny sort of comes to a stop nearby. Honestly, y'all were fixing to leave without saying bye to the boy first? For shame.
To wake him.
Been through a lot.
Just kind of rolls her eyes and lowers herself a bit to help Percy down. Well, either way, if he woke up and y'all were gone without saying bye first, he'd be all kinds of upset.
Not saying we wouldn't come back maybe sometime.
Still, it's just manners, love.
Too true. I'm afraid my mind is elsewhere. Do forgive me, young Percy, for my horrible behavior. He just makes a whole act of it, as much as, he's no performer, but...
Percy is nonetheless entertained. It's okay. You're all leaving?
Yeah, we
There
got
is-
places to be.
There is quite much we have to do, and so little time to get it done.
Are you gonna go stop more bad guys?
You bet. Ludviek just grins wildly at that.
Yes, I believe we are.
If they dare show their faces, we'll take them down.
Help more people like you there, Percy.
Mm-hmm.
Will I see any of you again?
Well, I'm not one for goodbyes. So, of course.
Maybe
know when.
someday.
Hope so.
I would say it is quite possible. I travel the road, as do many of us. And Lambsong does happen to be on the road.
Plus, also, you can't be to the party every week. Honestly, the open stage, the performance, But also more or less to come see you. I'm glad.
Okay. He sort of puts on a big smile. I'll be here then.
Tuki is going to kneel down to give him a hug before leaving.
He happily returns it.
Oh.
And he just kind of whispers to you, I'm gonna keep the butt sword.
Nothing would make me happier.
Hey, Tuki, do you grow this back?
Eventually.
Yeah. And I'll just go ahead and say, I have officially added it to the list of important locations in Lambsong. The Barrowsmoth's household, on the northern side of town. 2 small gravestones where the parents were buried. It now stands abandoned, but maintained and promised to Percy Barrowsmoth, who now lives with Jenny in the town's inn. One of Tuki's tail feathers has been placed here, held in a simple case and put on display on the wall in Percy's old room.
Oh.
That's cute.
It is. You saved that boy's life and you blew his mind with your tail feathers. Yeah. Yeah, but like, as far as he's concerned, you're his hero, so.
I mean, she kinda is, to be honest. Out of all of us, she kinda is.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What again for skulking about and lying to people.
All right, so Percy sort of walks back to Jenny, looking like he's still a touch unsteady on his feet, and she sort of quickly reaches out to support him. Right, I'm not any good at these goodbye things either. I find I just start rambling, so we'll go on and hit the road.
Well,
eh? We'll be here whenever you decide to roll on back through.
You also best prepare. We have also been tasked by our mayor to go see the commander of Anterine. He's looking to get some hired help for your town.
As long as that hired help isn't fleecing us.
Considering it comes from the city itself, I would be hard-pressed to say that might not happen.
I don't know. Have you seen the prices they charge?
No, I've not. How much do they charge?
I don't know. I was asking you.
Don't ask me. If you wanted to warrior where I came from, you gave him a good meal and a hearty handshake. And also probably a tussle or two.
That's unfortunately not how it works in Antarine.
It's light work, so it won't pay that much.
Either or. Let's all be on our way.
All right. So then,
Thank you again, Jenny.
you're the ones who should be receiving thanks. Get going. All right.
See you.
And with that, you gather up your things, what few of them are still scattered about, turn, and start the trek to Anterine. Walking west out of Lambsong, you take to the rolling green and verdant foothills that sprawl along the northernmost edges of the Barrenfell Mountains. If any conversations wish to be had just amongst yourselves, or with Donald, or anything of the sort en route, you are more than welcome to have them.
I'm gonna miss that town.
Me too.
I'm not.
Oh. Oh, right, you got robbed. I forgot.
I spent half the time in a ditch.
Right!
And the other half of the time unconscious with arrows in my body. I'm...
On the
Forgive
bright
me
side,
if
at least
I'm
you caught up on
biased.
your sleep.
I think he might need more. He doesn't seem well up there. Not at all.
Glad to see you're not opposed to gallows humor.
Gallows? Like the thing that chops your head off?
No, that's a guillotine.
What?
Oh, that's a guillotine! Oh my goodness.
Who said that?
I'm not even sure what guillotine humor would be. No, gallows humor. It's, right.
Who is talking?
Donald!
Donald.
Oh, I forgot he was here. I don't know.
I bet no.
Just sitting there walking, and talking like a normal guy, and then Kari's like, "Who the fuck is that?"
You got that
I totally
ass
expect-
specifically so he could ride it.
The best part is I bet Kari literally just said it's just like turns. It's like, whoa, when did he get here?
It's like, who the fuck are you? It's like, I am your quest objective, dumbass.
Oh.
Kari, active perception 2.
2. I mean, that makes sense. That would explain a lot, actually.
Right? Like how a challenge rating 1/4 bandit would successfully be able to sneak up on him and knock him out with one hit.
He was just taking a pee in the bush or something. That's what I chalk it up to. I have to go take a pee.
Are we sure his last name isn't Magoo?
Oh my gosh.
Sorry,
You know
that
what,
Kari.
for that-
We're just
You know what, for
clowning
that
on
one,
you.
Roll initiative for that one. That's too far.
Apologies, that Kari.
Gallows humor was the note we were on.
Yeah, gallows humor.
No, gallows humor. It's basically this idea of like a really dark sense of humor, pertaining to like death or suffering or whatever. It relies a lot on just the making light of absurd or dark things to elicit a sort of like a shock laugh. You know, it was quite commonplace actually, way up north in the Midlands and Galitha for a long time, that if you were slated to be executed, when your day of execution came, if you were brought out into the gallows, faced by the crowd, if you could make the crowd laugh for long enough, then your life would be spared for another day. There's at least one. There was at least one person who was supposed to be executed for murder who basically made it to his 70s because he kept making people laugh.
Oh, Kari, you would be so fine.
What? What is that supposed to mean? What?
Just tell a story and you make people laugh. You're very an effective storyteller.
Nice save.
So, Donald, I don't know much about you. Are you some sort of like academic yeah, I guess academic.
I wouldn't call myself an academic necessarily. I do have an education from one of the universities in Asmara. Flunked out of magic class, if you can believe it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
I'm not good with languages, is the thing. And magic, as it so happens, is rooted entirely in understanding a language that doesn't seem built for human mouths.
I don't understand magic at all. I just do it.
He sort of gives you a questioning glance. You're a kobold, though. Like, aren't your kin supposed to be extremely intimately attached and attuned to magic just naturally?
Well, is that why?
This would be knowledge. This would be common knowledge to you, Minnove, that yes, dragonkin do have an extremely intimate connection to magic. Whether or not the finer specifics of that were ever divulged to you, probably not, because like you wouldn't have had time to have that bit of history divulged. But that dragonkin have a very like intimate link to magic that other people don't is something you know.
I've been told stories about the about my magickin. I just never really, I don't know.
It is specifically why you are able to cast magic without a verbal component, why you can silent cast. Everyone else who does magic, any non-dragonkin has to, issue spoken incantations for any spell they cast at any time, because they're providing instructions to the magic. They're basically programming in real time. But kobolds can do it with thought rather than spoken word.
Yeah, I just think it, Donald. Get on my level.
Well, as it so happens, I wound up being better suited to walking roads and learning by poking my nose into things as opposed to learning from a book and listening to a geriatric bastard scramble at me for hours.
Well, it's very funny you bring up walking. She looks at him. Sorry, I just have to make
No,
humor
it's
light of situation.
It's fair.
You said it as you did. Gallows humor, right?
You are too
See, I'm
clever
using
by
it effectively.
You are too clever by half. You know that. Yeah, no.
Oh, it makes sense, though. It makes sense, though. The greatest teacher in life is actually experience. You can only learn so much being told by your elders.
And as it so happens, I imagine I could now give a very long lecture on the nature of pain and how long it takes broken bones to heal. Those were not fun lessons, let me assure you. But Veronica was a very compelling teacher.
Ah, well.
What about you, Kari and I guess Ludviek? Did you have any teachers taught you your arcane?
Oh, several.
Several?
Yeah, several.
Did you just go through them by the day or the week?
No. Learn a little bit here, learn a little bit there, you know. Talked to a couple of the specialists on how certain things worked.
Huh. And you, Ludviek, is it all just Sunan or?
Well, I actually did have a teacher. And her name... Pause. What was her name again, Skij? My mind is going completely blank on names again.
Your backstory.
Jorna.
My fucking backstory. Jorna. I was thinking Jera. It was a J. Alright. Yes. Alright, cut back to real. Alright. Yes, it was actually by another traveling Sunan. Her name was Jorna. She opened my eyes to a lot more of the world than I had ever thought. And from it came my, came what you would say a bit of my, belief into Suna herself and her many blessings upon this world.
Oh, fascinating. It's really interesting how, well, I guess I had a teacher too, but it was more of a learn as you see, kind of do as you do, kind of pick up the stone and just do it kind of lesson. But yeah. What's your guys' favorite travel song? Minnove's gonna immediately kind of change her, change her attitude back to being happy and joyful.
Silence.
Silence? Oh, I play that song very well. Listen.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I have to deal with that joke so often in Chronicles of Eno. I don't need it here too.
Too
I was
bad.
not aware of that.
I can play that song so well, so intimately. You wouldn't even know it's there. Honestly, it's just background noise at that point. Listen. Ah, sweet sounds.
Very.
So when a tree nearby
Nope.
a bird poops.
Minnove's gonna pull out her instrument and just gonna play a random song.
Okay. I won't prompt a roll for that.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
It's alright. You're
It's
you're,
habit.
Yeah, it's habit. You're in a relaxed setting. You're under no pressure. There's no consequence for failure, and you are, you have expertise in performance, don't you?
Yeah.
Then yeah, in basically most circumstances where there isn't a consequence for fucking it up, you can just do it well.
Joke's on you. I probably could fuck it up. Boron could tell me boo,
Yeah,
and I would cry.
Your passive performance would be
Wow.
18, so that's really good.
Passive performance? This is a first.
Well, I mean, every skill basically has a passive incarnation. Passive perception is just the only one listed on the character sheet because it's the one that gets used the most often.
What's my passive acrobatics?
Well, it's just 10 and then apply your acrobatics modifier.
That's okay.
Yeah. Ludviek would look to Tuki and Boron, if they're close to each other, and say, Tuki, and even Boron, I had thought, as we left, Jenny and Percy back there, the boy seems to, well, have the gumption of all young men, of wanting to defend others. I was thinking, we meet the watch commander, and he is invariably going to send some watch his way over towards Lambsong, and also possibly training up some men there. Wonder if we might ask them to possibly take in Percy as a ward. The boy could use some training, and it is a very good skill to have.
I think he's a bit too young to be making those kinds of choices.
I would agree with Tuki on that one. As much as I would agree that it's a good skill to have, the boy's he's a young child still, and he just went through some truly harrowing things. If that is something he wants to pursue later in life, I imagine he will, but he doesn't need us making that decision for him. For now, he should just get the opportunity to just enjoy what remains of his childhood while he still has the chance to do so.
True. Just thinking. Where I came from, we would even start very young, teaching young hunters the very basics of every single part of the hunt.
Well, as I'm given to understand it, Rythar communities are far smaller than human ones, so everyone has a lot of different hats they have to wear. Am I right?
I do not wear a hat.
It's a figure of speech.
It would very much not fit your head.
True.
Gotta find
Also,
you a big hat.
Well, the problem also is, he points to his ears. These get in way of many hats.
My point.
These.
Okay,
Oh my
we're getting off topic here. My point remains.
I suppose
I'm surrounded by idiots.
I do have a bit of a personal bias against it as well, but I just don't think fine.
I think it should be his choice for when he chooses if he wants to do it in life. We gave him a second chance, and it's his choice to live what's left of his childhood, and
Indeed.
Can't hurt to get a bit of exercise now and then, though.
Oh, you think a young boy will not be having exercise? Oh, try getting not get still. That's the problem.
Interesting.
Well,
What about?
actually, Donald, what do you know about this town we are going to? Antarine itself.
Anterine?
Antarine, yes.
Well, it's one of the It's one of the head cities of the Cadamacy, so it has a Cadam presiding over it. What was it? When last I checked, though that was before I wound up in Veronica's dungeon, the Cadam was a man named Ayland Waltham. I'll just put that in chat. Now, Antarine itself is one of the wealthier cities in Valrive. If you've looked at a map, you'll notice its placement. It connects the southern reaches of Valrive to the Academy, and it also is the first major city that trade coming in from Emira winds up passing through, at least from the south. And that means pretty much anything that comes up through Lion Pearl from down there goes through Anterine. Furthermore, Anterine has an abundance of mining operations scattered around in the Barrenfell Mountains, and it gets a lot of additional revenue selling those off to merchants passing through, or refining them into more pristine cut jewels or weapons and armor in the city proper. It's very much a hub of mineral metal and mercantile trade and activity.
Thought I heard about the town. From the map I saw, there is a major river which runs down to Lake Bothoril.
Yeah.
And then to Asmara. Would it be possible to book transport on a ship to Asmara that way? Possibly saving us time?
Possibly. That route is usually reserved more for just deliveries of large shipments of cargo. As I understand it, it's not out of the question that one could, purchase passage on one of those cargo barges, but, well, generally speaking, that's what the road is for.
Won't save us much time.
That too.
It also is going against the current.
That too. Well, actually, no. You'd be following the current, sailing from Antarine to Asmara, because the river flows to Lake Bothoril, so you would be following the current. It would be going against the current if you were sailing from Asmara to Antarine.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking it might be quicker just taking a ship down the river into the lake and whatnot rather than taking the road.
So, I mean, it's possible, I suppose, but, there would be a charge for it.
Just thought I had one of many.
If you have any other questions about where we're headed, I can see if I can scrounge anything up in my brain.
You hadn't heard about them having any troubles themselves lately. It seems trouble seems to follow us wherever we go. Would be willing to know if we are walking into a problem itself.
I don't think Donald would be very up to date.
Unfortunately, no. I could give you a rundown of some of Antarine's past problems, but whether or not it's facing any now, I don't know.
Would I be able to?
You're a little indisposed.
You, Minnove.
Would Minnove?
Yeah, I'd say there's some information you would just have at your disposal. Hold on. I'll just drag you into the Hall of Whispers really quick to just give you a very quick rundown, and then you can convey that to everyone else in your own words. We'll be back in a second, folks.
Hello!
Alright, so the short version is, on account of its very, on how much trade goes through it and from how so many sources, with like the mines and the merchant caravans and all that, Antarine does have sort of it has a very large garrison for maintaining a city watch and maintaining order, but it also sort of in response to that has a well-organized but fairly non-disruptive smuggling underbelly attached to it. Any conflicts that arise from that very rarely make it into a location or any string of activity that might be perceived by the public. The City Watch goes very far out of its way to maintain the peace on the streets, but there are very much some layers of, like, on some of the levels of, like, some of the ministers or guildmasters, a degree of corruption, allowing some smuggling to happen where it probably shouldn't and whatnot. Some minerals or weapons passing through that really shouldn't be letting pass through, some substances. It's not nearly as bad as it could be in some places. Like, you've heard legends of the city of Jagged Gale over in Emira, which is, only recently, from what you've heard, started to turn itself around from, like, damn near a century of being one of the biggest hives of scum and villainy in all of Aris. So Antarine's problems are mostly that it has some corruption at some of its lower levels with some guild masters, and just kind of an underlying tension. It has a very bloated police force that can make some people feel uncomfortable, essentially.
Awesome. I'm writing that quickly down so I can restate it as well.
And also, of course, you would know this because you lived it. There is a massive wealth imbalance in Anterine.
Mm-hmm.
The merchants, the guild masters, and the business owners have a much larger proportional cut of the wealth in this city than basically everyone else. So there is very much a very sharp distinction between even the lower and middle class of Antarine.
Is it like a taxation kind of like reason, or just how it is?
It's the taxation is fairly fair, actually. If nothing else, if you can give credit to Ayland for anything, it's that he is competent when it comes to how he allocates tax revenue and how he acquires it. He's good at that. Like, he's good at economics. The wealth imbalance largely just comes from the fact that a lot of the money goes to the people who actually are taking in the imports, and because that is such a humongous part of Antarine's economy, it means that people who don't necessarily slot in with its core ecosystem kind of get left by the wayside. So if you're not engaging with the major arteries of trade from Amira or abroad, or if you're not engaging in the mineral side of things, your business is probably not getting as much income as it might get in another location in that isn't quite so hyper-specialized. It's not to say that there's like an immense amount of poverty in the city, but there is a very sharp distinction between those who engage in the main gimmick and those who do not.
Cool. Awesome. Rockin'. I misspelled Anterine and it wants to correct it to internet.
That is hilarious. All right. That is basically the gist. You're gonna return to the never-ending journey now.
Rockin'.
Oh, they're back.
Yes.
Yay!
Hey there.
Y'all didn't
So,
start playing tic-tac-toe this time. That's great. Now Minnove can tell you all this in her own words.
So, actually, I can probably answer that for you, Ludviek. I don't know any of the finer details, but I do know it's a big trade area. Very big trade, and with the trade, it has a large garrison because there's so much going in and out. However, because there's so much going in and out, there's some corruption with some lower guild members. It's all very discreet, very very respectful corruption. I will add. Very kept hidden.
Something you don't hear very often.
Right? It has a big smuggling problem, and it's kind of kept quiet. No one really makes a loud noise about it, but it is an underlying problem in Antarine. That being said, because of all that, the ones who work imports and exports are considered the middle class and are quite wealthy. As for the lower class, who are like barkeep or someone who more or less deals with, like, I guess, more localized trade, doesn't really it's a very steep cut between the middle and the lower. So tip your waiters when we're over there really well. They don't get paid enough for bullshit.
Why would you give extra money to someone who is just standing around?
Well, because they deal with a lot of bullshit on the regular. Last thing they
Why
want
is
to deal
their
with your
job of just
bullshit.
wait? Why is their job of just waiting?
That's,
Anyone can wait.
That is
Oh.
not what a waiter is.
Server. Jenny. You remember Jenny? Jenny. She'd be considered some sort of waitress.
A gastronomer.
Yes. 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 That. Yes, that word.
Okay, you guys have to understand. Ludviek isn't 10. He has an average knowledge of things. Some things a little bit more, but not a lot less.
The main thing is
Over
that
time.
Fair enough.
and the main thing is that common isn't his first language.
Correct. So it's more or less a a thing of just be respectful to the people, and if you see someone that might need a little extra pick-me-up, don't hesitate to help them out if you can. That's my request at the very least. A little
but
goes a long
generosity
way.
brings many smiles and does warm the hearts of many.
It goes a long way. Trust me, as someone who's been in that situation, it helps.
Very charitable of you.
Charitable makes a village. Takes a village. So.
Just nudge this up a bit so you're properly on the line. There we go. Alright.
But that's all I really know about the inner workings. As for the drama or any latest gossip, I don't know what's happening. Though, if you want any gossip, I know somebody that would have the absolute deeds.
Well, I know that the city is pretty well defended, and there's few threats from the outside.
Oh, the police force is immaculate. The watches, absolutely.
And there's with the merchant caravans, there are a lot of mercs coming in and out. So their work is relatively cheap there.
You can usually tell when somebody has something that they shouldn't have, and they're allowed to have it. I will give you that much. There's a little tell.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yes, it's interesting.
Huh. Fascinating.
Yes.
I don't know, anything,
Ludviek has no
questions?
further questions.
Perfect. Can I judge what time of the day it is?
At this point, I'd say it's getting onto about noon.
Man, the sun is quite hot. Ugh.
I mean, it's cloudy, so not really.
Not really,
What are you
but
talking about?
As a reminder, we do have a calendar in Common Links that shows like what the current date is and keeps track of certain events. And it also tells what the weather is currently.
well, you know what? It's getting hot, and she takes off like a layer of clothing. I'm getting really, really hot right now.
All right. Well, regardless. So.
It's like, we're getting hot. To which Ludviek just is like, hand to her forehead. Is she running a fever?
No.
Oh my.
Okay.
What she
I
is
appreciate it.
well insulated.
I appreciate
And
it,
also
Ludviek,
wearing a
very
lot
much.
of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless.
Yeah, actually,
so.
and she takes off another layer and just gives it to Ludviek. Hold on to that for me, would you? Oh, my arms feel so free.
Ludviek has no idea what to do with this extra cloth.
I didn't know better. I was thinking she was flirting with you.
Flirting? Oh no, Ludviek, you would know if I was flirting with you. Boron.
Is she flirting with me?
Okay, that wouldn't
Make
be
it insight, I guess.
It wouldn't be perception, it would be insight.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, she's just very hot, and you are very much like a tall kind of bodyguard like guy. So she's just like, you can carry extra weight. You're fine. You're hairy as it is, so obviously if this isn't bugging you, a little extra cloth isn't gonna bug you.
And Donald's
I'm
over there
just
like, so it's like, huh, and I thought I was the one riding the pack mule.
Ah, indeed, you are. He hands off the cloth to Donald.
No.
Listen, everybody, stop fighting over my clothing. It's there's enough to go around if you really want some.
What is going on?
I don't know. I don't know, Kari, and I'm getting quite worried. I'm just gonna go walk ahead. Bye.
Essentially catching up with Tuki.
Yeah. Hey,
Good, some-
Tiki, what's going on, bud? She says as you hear kind of like, hey, like.
Okay.
All right. Well then.
Well, that happened. Cue the laugh track.
All right. So, are we persisting with this particular conversation thread, or are we happy to move forward?
Oh, I think we can skip ahead a little.
All right. So.
I got nothing to say.
All right. The rest of the day passes basically just like that, with just idle small talk, the occasional bit of fun banter, and picking on each other just a little bit, just gently. As the sun is starting to set and the light sort of disperse from the edges of the world, leaving just the dulled glow of the pale ring behind the cloud cover, you eventually come to, as you're sort of coming over one of the foothills, you come across, sort of faintly sort of enshrined in by some, by just a small copse of trees, you find just a simple wooden log cabin, sort of by the road.
Oh.
With
Wooden log cabin, sort of by the road.
Yeah, you see as you sort of get a little closer, you can see it's an older structure, clearly. It's been here a while. And you can see sort of hanging over the door, above the door, there's this carved out of wood sort of symbol that depicts a series of sort of winding contours, almost like paths that sort of intersect and conjoin near the top. They almost look like tree roots, but basically everyone here would recognize it as being the symbol of Valn, the god of travelers and explorers and wanderers.
Look at that.
Since I made the circle quite a few times, I probably stayed here before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I won't necessitate a lore check for this. This would basically be common knowledge for all of you at this point. Any of you who have made the circuit or have been in Valry for more than a few days. It's pretty commonplace in most corners of the world, at least where Pentism is the established religion, for there to be, at fairly regular intervals, these sort of just little cabins set up that were built up over the course of many, many decades by various orders and suborders and sects of the followers of Valn to serve as basically just places for travelers to rest. And also just for those who are active followers of Valn to, make whatever prayers they wish to make to their patron before they move on come the morning. Most inns and taverns also come with a complimentary, just little, small way shrine to Valn somewhere in them. There was one in Lambsong, but I didn't draw any attention to it because it never became important. But out on the roads like these, just in between settlements, these sorts of little huts exist just to give someone a roof over their head and a place where they can safely make a fire without necessarily advertising themselves to beasts or bandits. It was a very large undertaking, but it's paid off dividends.
Setting the forest ablaze.
Yeah. Not all of them are always in perfect condition or properly maintained. In fact, a lot of them have fallen into states of disrepair because they haven't been properly maintained or because fights happened in them for one reason. There's a lot of them and only so many followers of Voln to go around to repair them. But they still exist, all the same, and are nonetheless a welcome sight for those who know of them.
Nice.
Well, I think this is a good place to set up camp. As a sign, you know.
Indeed. It's like
It wouldn't
so you said it was
hurt.
almost evening, right?
It is evening. The sun is going down. Like you have more ring light than sunlight at this point. And you don't have a whole lot of either because of the cloud cover.
Right. All right, then. Agreed. Be a fine place to rest for the night.
A nice place
Good.
to lay our heads.
So,
Alright, so let's check on the condition of this place.
yeah. Stepping on inside, it looks to be in fairly good condition. Fairly well maintained, definitely well used. You can see kind of the remains of a fire, maybe only a day old, sort of in like the sort of like in the fireplace, sort of against the back wall. You get the impression that this was probably in use like just last night, probably.
Surprise me.
Well, I'm gonna go call dibs on a bed.
Drat.
Yeah,
You're
they're
welcome to join me if you'd like.
Yeah.
She jokingly says as she runs.
Yeah, basically the way these places work when it comes to like bedding is they're like bunk beds kind of set up against one wall, enough to house like up to a total of 8 people at any given time. And there's enough floor space that if there are more than that, they could roll out bedrolls.
Well,
Nice.
Ludviek says, I will be fine with floor. Quite used to ground anyway. I would say we should make sure Donald has bed. Also, let's make sure we get those legs of yours to get some exercise before the night was through.
Yes, please. And don't put me on one of the top bunks. I don't want to fall and break myself when I wake up.
I was about to suggest bottom bunk, though. Yeah. How sturdy are these bunk beds? And Minnove's gonna kind of grab it and kind of like jostle the structure.
It explodes.
No, like, it's sturdy. Like, it's not, like, indestructible or anything, like, but, like, they're made to last. They're not necessarily super comfortable as you sort of start to, like, get familiar with the one that you have claimed for yourself. But they'll serve their purpose and they won't, like, break just because a fat man lies down in one. Now, that being said, if you take a warhammer to one, that's a different story. They are made out of wood. Wood and nails.
Perfect. So anyone can sleep above you, Donald.
Indeed.
All right.
All right. So
there's how much time would you say there is remaining in the day right now to do anything?
At this point, with the last vestiges of sunlight disappearing and darkness falling over the world, I'd say about 12 seconds.
Okay. All right. Never mind then.
It is.
We have 12 seconds before the horrors of night fall upon us.
Yeah. The blood moon's coming out.
Ah, dang it.
Oh, God.
All right, time to put a brick wall in front of the door again for the zombies.
What? No, I'm talking about Zelda.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Terraria. All right, too many
Well,
games.
actually, I also could have been talking about 7 Days to Die, but I digress. A lot of games use a blood moon for zombies, it seems. Because I wasn't even thinking about Terraria. Anyways.
Blood moons are a real thing.
I know. They just don't look like that. Anyways.
Okay. All right. Then I guess just Ludviek would help prepare whatever meal and stoke a little bit of a fire, prepare whatever remains of a meal for the group. That's what he'd do.
It's easy enough. Most of the supplies you would need for such things are on hand. There's some flint and steel. There's of course the fireplace. There's some spare, unused, sort of chopped bits of firewood sort of stacked up next to the fireplace. You have the bare bones basics to at least keep yourselves warm. So it's easy enough. You get yourselves settled in, get comfortable, go through the motions of just training up Donald's leg muscles a bit. Someone, I assume, ties up the ass outside. There are posts for that.
Is that what we're just calling it the whole time?
Look,
Probably
man,
has a name, you know.
Minnove started it, and no, the ass doesn't have a name. You haven't named it.
Just ask.
Well, if anyone's going to name Boron's ass, it should be Boron himself.
He named
Yes.
it Donkey.
Donkey! Suddenly, it's just Shrek.
It's all
Eddie
over
Murphy.
Minnove's just gonna take up to one of the top bunks, being kind of small and light, and she's just gonna kind of write away in the journal she just bought.
All right. So,
Well, I will probably sleep outside. I don't really sit still in my sleep, so I don't want to bother anyone.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Kind of dangerous just to be outside in the open.
I could be on the roof.
That sounds equally as dangerous. That does not sound comforting nor comfortable.
Nor is
I'm
the
not a-
roof made to support people in general.
I don't even
Well-
weigh 100 pounds, Boron.
True.
Tuki, have you ever slept in a bed? Like a comfortable one?
A few times.
Were you comfortable?
It's not a matter of comfort.
What's...
I'm not trying to make a big deal out of this. I toss and turn a lot. I'm trying to be considerate. That's all there is.
Okay.
Ludviek would take an extra blanket that he has in his pack and say, "Would this help you at least? It's good to stay warm, especially on a cold night like this."
I appreciate it, but I have my own.
Well, if you need anything, do not hesitate to wake me.
Or me. I'll probably be up for a little longer.
yeah. Well then. With that in mind, you set yourselves off to your respective locations to hunker in for a rest. And the night passes without incident. Unless one of you wants to start some shit.
I light the forest on fire.
There is no forest.
Not anymore.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Obviously. So with that, following morning, you gather up your things, and maintaining your pace of, about 24 miles per day, you continue on your way for Anterine. Gradually, the terrain does start to slope down a little bit. The foothills sort of leveling out to an extent. You spend the next night in another one of those Valn way shrines. Let's see here. And then it is pretty much as the sun is setting on this partially cloudy third day of travel. You come up over a rise in the terrain and as you sort of crest the top of it, the land suddenly just sort of sprawls out before you, and you lay eyes on the city of Antarine. Sitting across from you with, sort of divided from you by the wide currents of a river fed by several smaller streams flowing out of the barren fells to your south. A wide, masterfully made stonework bridge spans that watery gap, and you can see that there are the occasional merchant stall set up on that bridge, possibly those hoping to handle trade with anyone who might be heading east out of the city. And you can see, even from here, the large swaths of travelers on the road. Even at this late hour, there's still people coming and going shortly before the gates close up for the night. And the city itself, it's not the biggest, but it is nonetheless an impressive structure. From here, you can make out a network of wide thoroughfares and broad sort of highways crisscrossing through the city in semi-controlled chaos, with large structures of masterful brickwork and high shingled roof tiles. It kind of evokes a similar feeling that you might get from exploring Skingrad in Oblivion, just with wider streets and a bit more decoration.
Home. Oh, the smell of piss in the streets.
You see this smell of what?
Are you from here?
Yeah, this is my home city. I was, to all I know, I was raised and hatched on these very streets. She kicks a little pebble.
Whoa.
I know, quite crazy that I grew up somewhere.
It must be quite comforting to return to your old home.
I mean, it's nice. But it does invoke memories that not quite the most fond. Like I said, a lot of problems with the middle class and the poor, and especially the rich. So, being on the lower end of that diagram, didn't really get the best. And being a kobold, and being a red-scaled kobold at that, it complicated a lot. Though, I do have an idea if we would like to stay anywhere where there is a bed that would be discounted. I wouldn't want to not do it and not pay him. But there might be a bed discounted for us if we wish to stay for the night.
I wouldn't say no to that.
That would be very much appreciated.
The sun is going down, so I, for one, am not keen on traveling when tired through the middle of the night. So, if you have a location to recommend to us, by all means.
It's really not that bad.
Let's go to the Blue Butterfly, and we're gonna start leading the way.
All right. So
and Ludviek would just. I just got one quick thing to say. He would say, well, even though you say you've had a rough time living here, that just means with us, we'll just have to create plenty of good memories to outshine them.
Not very.
All right.
One hasn't said a word since they came to Anterine, and he's always taking a look up into the Barrenfell Mountains, not saying anything.
All right.
Would any of us notice this?
Good
Maybe not.
Good question.
Would you?
I'm going to assume
It'd probably
it's a fairly subtle detail. What is everyone's passive perception? If anyone has a passive perception of let's say, okay, a 15 from Ludviek.
15.
Where do we see our passive perception on these sheets?
It should be beneath your skill list, left-hand side.
Oh, 14.
All right.
13.
All right. Anyone with a passive perception of 15 will notice that Boron is taking those glances.
Ludviek makes a note of it.
Kari also makes a note of it.
All right. Making a note of it, but not pressing it for the time being. Understood.
No, time is
So-
to find place to sleep.
Indeed.
Exactly. And the best food in Antarine on the west side of this place. East side. West, east. She holds
Give
up her hands, like trying to figure it out which way it's going.
Give me a second. I have the layout of the city right here. I see here. Where the fuck did I leave it? It is located in the Glistening Quarter, which is in the eastern side of the city. It's like the gate you're coming up on is called the Slope Gate, which leads directly into the Glistening Quarter, and the Blue Butterfly is located there.
We're here.
All right, so,
Basically.
I mean, you got a bit of walking to do. It's a few blocks in,
Yeah.
but, it makes sense. Park yourself near a gate, and people who just arrived in the middle of the night and in desperate need of a place to stay will see that and gravitate right toward it. Location, location, location. So, so crossing the bridge, your group will get some glances from the few people who are still out and about on that bridge. Mostly just people starting to, put away their stuff, pack up shop so that they can head back inside the city, grab some dinner, and, go to bed or something. You are a very colorful group, for sure. So you're getting your fair share of looks. And as you are approaching the gates, you do see that there are a couple of a couple of guards, sort of one on either side, just kind of keeping a watch of the few people who are sort of passing through. And one of them, sort of his eyes alight on your group, and he quirks an eyebrow and sort of steps forward to meet your group as you're approaching. Hold up, Amo.
Hello there. Just coming on in.
Minnove, roll me 1d20, please.
Oh, God.
Just a flat
Did I know
1d20,
this guy?
no bonus. That's what we're rolling for.
I know, that's what I figured.
15. The guard sort of looks down at you, blinks, and is like, "Holy shit, you're a... Is you? You're the one that always played
hello.
You're the one that always played at Rob's place, aren't you?"
I was. I played there quite frequently. I haven't been there in I want to say a couple months.
It would have been close, a couple months. You would have been running. It takes, assuming you stay in a town for a couple of days, at minimum a day before moving on to the next one, you probably would have been running the circuit for about 60 days at this point.
Yeah. So I've been in Browds. Why? I'd came in one night.
Just gonna be honest with you, I thought you died. Hadn't seen you then ages. Sort of looks up.
Can't kill me.
I'm sure something could, but I'm glad it hasn't. Sort of looks past you at everyone sort of behind you. He's like, "Oh, you got friends. All right. Well. Oh.
Would we be able to pass entrance?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just he looks to the rest of you and just says, just try not to cause any trouble, eh?"
Ludviek just nods.
And sorry, I do. What's your name?
Toby.
Toby. Well, nice to meet you, Toby. I'm Minnove.
Right.
And
that was
these
your
are my
name.
compatriots. Yes.
Right. Sorry for the hold up. Just you don't see a group of this composition very often. Just doing my job. Have a good night.
Absolutely understandable. Doing great there, Toby.
Yes, yes, good job.
And he steps aside and returns to his post.
See? I told you. Come on.
Your fame precedes you.
Well, Anterine is a different kind of fame. more of a localized fame, I guess you could say. I grew up in Robson, as he so blatantly put it.
But he knew you for your music. You brought smiles and joy to many with your own art. And that is why you are remembered.
'Tis the goal.
All right. So, following Minnove deeper into the city, it doesn't take you terribly long to eventually... yes, Sepia? You laughing at something?
No, I coughed.
It doesn't take you long to locate the inn in question. A fairly modest-looking 3-story affair, sort of presiding over the wide thoroughfare. There's some jovial music coming from inside, warm firelight spilling out through the sort of diamond-patterned framed windows. A sign sort of hangs out over the door with, as the name Minnove said implies, a depiction of a bunch of blue butterflies sort of swirling haphazardly around each other in a very mesmerizing pattern.
I miss the smell.
So, heading in?
Anything anyone has to say before, or just...
This isn't a bad place.
Very well managed and very relevant. And she opens the door quite gently and is going in.
All right. So, opening up the door and stepping inside, a barrage of familiar scents hit you almost immediately, Minnove. Like, you've been gone for a good couple months at this point, but the smells are all still familiar. The ambience is all still familiar. Just this wave of sort of nostalgia and a bunch of the tension that had kind of been creeping into you from being on the road as you have been sort of seeps out of you. You sort of find yourself just unwinding and sort of relaxing into your place as you step into the doorway.
Wow, that's nice. Come on.
So.
Minnove's gonna quickly glance around for a certain someone.
You see said certain someone currently behind the counter, looks to be in the middle of a game of cards with a sort of a very tall and sort of broad-shouldered gentleman with a bald head with a big-ass scar running across the back of it. The rest of you sort of see Minnove glancing toward the bar, and the individual in question, her eyes have fixated on. You see a human gentleman looking to be maybe in his 30s or 40s, with a frizzy head of just the wildest red hair you've ever seen, a great big bushy beard, kind of a beer gut going on, bushy eyebrows, and sort of wearing like a white undershirt with a green over vest and sort of baggy brown pants tucked into a pair of boots.
Minnove is not gonna say anything. She's just gonna kind of walk up and just gonna sit on the bar, looking over the hand of the one who he's facing, and just looking over and just seeing like what kind of cards he has.
This is standard playing cards.
Yeah. Well, no, more or less just like what he has in his hand.
He is losing. The bald man is losing, and badly. Like, you kind of glance up at his face, and you see, like, he has, like, some, like, weird, like, sort of, like, imposing, like, white tattoos sort of crisscrossing across his face, kind of trying to make him look meaner than he probably is. And though his facial expression is cold and calm as a rock, you can tell by the sort of just this little pinch of tension under his eyes and profuse beads of sweat that he's kind of panicking a bit. And judging by the amount of coin that is currently sitting in the pile, a good reason.
And she's just gonna sit there and not really like bother them.
All right.
And it seems very intense.
Make a stealth check for for me. 9. Okay. So, I mean, for one thing, you are a known quantity here, and you stand out like a sore thumb, and you rolled bad. So, you go unobserved for only a few seconds before the man behind the bar sort of pulls a card from his hand with like this shit-eating grin and goes to like slap it down on the table. He lifts his eyes up to his opponent, and they immediately dart to you because you're like 3 feet that way. And he's like, I gotcha though, Minnove!
Hello there, Uncle Bob.
He sort of sets his hand down, looks at the bald man. Apologies for a moment, friend, the game's on pause for a second. And he immediately comes running around the counter and just scoops you up into a big old hug. Like, oh, Minnove, I haven't seen you in so long. It feels like years. How have you been, lass?
Oh, you know, just been traveling, and she gives him a big, like, squeeze hug back, like, wraps her tail kind of around him as well.
Yeah, as well as you can.
Just as well as she can. You know, just traveling around, just going town to town. I recently was in Lambsong in the big spectacle event. It was gorgeous. Absolutely, you would have loved it. Absolutely.
I've been once or twice, if you can believe it.
Really?
Yeah, did you get to play?
Oh, I did. And she adjusts to the to everybody behind her, like to the party. I'm assuming that's near the door or around her somewhere.
I assume y'all were kind of following Minnove in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they all accompanied me on stage, believe it or not.
Oh, really? He sort of gives you all this big grin, kind of stands up straight. Well, any friend of little Ringdancer's a friend of mine. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Everyone, this is my Uncle Bob.
Hello, Bob, says Kari.
Yes, Uncle Bob, the nickname she spawned and that I now wear like a badge of pride. But please, that is a special nickname. You can call me Rob.
All right, Rob. Hello.
Pleasure to meet you, Rob.
Greetings.
Wow.
Now, Rob, I have a favor to ask you, Uncle Bob.
Yes?
Would we be able to take residence here and for the evening?
Of course. If you need a room
We'll
for the
pass
night,
you
I'm happy
through.
to provide one.
Perfect. We have a friend here that's quite weak.
Right.
And some good old blue butterfly meal should also be great suffice to him as well.
Of course, I can accommodate all that for you.
Oh, you don't need to accommodate anything. I'd happy to pay.
Sort of pokes you on the nose, Minnove. You don't get to pay. Your friends get a discount.
See? Connections. She points over at them like smiling.
I'll consider it. Thank you.
Well, like I said, any friend of Minnove is a friend of mine. That said, I do still need to run a business. If it were just my house, it might be a different story, but it's not my house. And also my house isn't big enough.
No.
Well, let me know if I can get any of you anything.
Of course.
But Minnove, just...
Mhm.
I haven't seen you in a couple months, lass. I'd love to hear about your trip. From over by the bar, you kind of hear, can we finish our game first? Friend, it's pretty damn clear to gods and everyone that you've lost. Yeah.
He's got a 2.
Don't cheat for me, God's girl. There is absolutely no honor in making a big man cry if you cheat about it. It has to be done fairly. Kind of circles around back, slides forward his card. Right, here, just formality. Boom. I win. Right. Yeah. Okay. And the bald man just starts putting away his cards and slides the pile of coins over. Oof. Right. That takes care of that. Minnove, actually, question for you real quick before you get too comfortable. And he kind of leans forward a bit and lowers his voice. Did you find any sign of her?
She kind of pauses and no. None that are on the near vicinity of Antarine, unfortunately. But still on the search. No, don't you mind that.
Hey, if I know you as well as I think I do, you'll find her. Huh?
I hope so.
Kind of like brushes your chin with a couple fingers, kind of like just like a little, like kind of like how you like might poke a kid on the nose, but he does it on your chin. Right. Let's
I'm
get
not
you
a
in
child anymore, there, Bob.
No, but if you're going to affectionately dub me as your uncle, then I am contractually obligated to spoil the shit out of you. Now come here, you must be starving. And then, like, he shouts out and is like, Bella, put some stew on Minnove's home. Go and find yourselves a chair. Food will be along shortly. Find yourselves a table, rather.
Thank you, Uncle Bob. Minnove then just slithers down and goes to grab the most comfiest booth that she's deemed in this entire place.
All right. Easy enough.
Come on. Join. Sit next to her.
Kari is going to join them at the table.
All right.
Ludviek would turn to Rob and say, "You know, homecoming such as this deserves a bit of a celebration. What have you on cask?"
Oh, I got a couple of things. I got ale, of course. Got some mead, sort of squirreled away somewhere. I got this one keg. It kind of got shipped in recently. Expensive bloody stuff. The guy who sold it to me, though, wouldn't say what it was called. He just kept saying, it's water. And,
Water!
yeah, like he put emphasis on like capital W water. Like this isn't like this isn't spring water. Like this is an alcoholic beverage, but it's called water.
That's a very strong capital.
Right?
What can I roll anything to figure if I have heard of such a drink before?
Anyone who is curious about it is free to roll a history check about this. Boron would get advantage.
Ooh. Let's see. With my incredible Oh! No. I thought I had trained history. That was inside. That was inside.
Minnove has no idea.
Ooh, at least a 17.
All right, so Tuki and Minnove don't get it, but everyone else, you are aware of a dwarven sort of originated beverage of almost legendary status that has been nicknamed water on account of the fact that it is colorless, odorless, and largely tasteless, but it is one of the most potent alcoholic beverages in the known world. It's like moonshine, but harder. It is a beverage that even the most die-hard alcoholics treat with a degree of reverence and respect, because doing that drink wrong can actually have severe consequences if you do it wrong.
Note to self, do
Noted.
not let Tuki drink this.
How
Tuki
dare.
would die.
Tuki would just disintegrate.
Sepia, you have no grounds upon which to say, how dare you. You know what this is.
Deny me my fun without the chance to at least roll for it.
I mean, Tuki could just get like a nat 20 on this, and we're like, wow, you can take this, but you can't take beer. So, like, fair.
Okay, yeah, it's a good thing I took that. Okay, I've prepped that. I got that prepped just in case. Okay, to which then Ludviek goes is like, I've heard of this. It's quite a drink of drinks. You know what? I'll run for the whole table.
You sure?
And then to which then he says, you say it is quite a unique drink, and this is quite a unique time. Why not? After all, we've been weary on the road, and a good muscle relaxant would be a great time.
I suggest small glasses.
Yes,
Sure.
yes. Shot.
Sure.
Shot glasses.
Y'all can get it. Does anyone want to opt
Yes, sir.
out?
I've heard many tales of this fine liqueur, and I believe I want to try it for once.
I want to see what all the hubbub's about.
Alright. He sort of looks over at Donald, who's like, I'm good. Alright.
The guy
He got broken legs. He doesn't need
He
broken
would
spirit.
actually die.
Alright. And, Tuki, does Tuki want to opt in or out?
Well, since I didn't get it, I think she's gonna try it, since Boron's like, yeah, small glasses.
Alright. This is gonna be interesting. So basically everyone's gonna try it. Oh boy. So, after a couple minutes, the, Rob comes back and he brings with him for one thing, he brings with him basically a course of food for everyone, freshly prepared. It's basically just like a platter with large chunks of meat for Minnove. The rest of you get a like, it's not like an extravagant meal, but like it's filling and like hearty. There's like a thick stew with like some bread on the side.
Noticeable.
And Rob also sets down a series of shot glasses and what looks basically like the equivalent of like a pitcher that's only been filled part of the way. He's like, all right, and once you are confident there's enough of the substance in that pitcher for you to fill up all of your shot glasses, I would recommend eating first, though.
That's
Thank
a
you,
very
Bob.
good idea.
Noted.
Right. He sort of turns and bellows. Hey, Bella, would you mind at the counter? If a friends don't mind, I'd like a chance to catch up with Minnove some more. Yeah, sure. No, that's what you pay me for. Thanks, love. He pulls over.
How old is Bella now?
It's like. I will say actually, real quick, Minnove, Bella is a new face for you.
Who is
Oh.
Bella?
Bella. Wound up hiring her on a couple weeks after you left. Damn good cook.
Oh,
And she, I'm not as young as I used to be, so she just takes some of the workload off my shoulders.
well, that's well. Let's. Minnove takes a taste of the stew with the chunks of meat.
It is really good.
She might be getting out of your business. She kind of like leans over.
Right, well. I imagine you all have
Really
got
good.
stories to tell. I'd love to hear them.
Oh, plenty. Kari is actually a really well-made storyteller. You tell one, though, Kari.
Yeah, I was about to say. Dun-dun-dun. All right.
Spawns the guitar. Performance. All right. I mean, so like, You're a little tired from the road. It's pretty late, and you are kind of stuffing your face with food at the same time, so it's not the most riveting incarnation of your storytelling, but it's solid. You know, Uncle Bob does seem to be paying good attention. He's invested, he's interested, he's having a good time hearing the stories as you recount the events of Lambsong in embellished fashion. Huh. Oh, goodness me. You leave this town a little stage performer, and by the time you loop right back around, you're gonna become a little hero, haven't you?
Well, I wouldn't really say hero, just more or less.
That's why I said little hero.
I thought you were more or less commenting on me being little, rather than my stature.
You are little, in that you are very small and you are adorable, but I more meant that, like, small-time hero for the moment, but mark my words. You're gonna be far, kiddo. I am sure of that.
Even for small-time hero to take down not only bandit leader, but other bandits as well? While mayhem is going around, that is quite a heavy skill and feat.
It was very impressive.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, even when this one was like not even up to my knees yet, I knew she was going places.
Well, Mom told you a lot about it. There was a lot of places that we were going.
Yeah, well, not when you were that small. Also, about half the things your mom said to me were largely grunts and grumbles.
Grunts and grumble. Sounds fitting.
Yeah. She accepted my hospitality. I'm grateful for it, too. Was not the best at articulating that in words. She didn't have the benefit of being raised around humans like you.
No, so I guess, yeah. I always saw the, I guess, maternal side to her. So I never got to really experience the grumpy, Mom.
Let me tell you, the worst grumbles I ever got from that woman were before I knew that your kind could only eat meat and meat-related things, and I gave her a plate with broccoli on it.
She hated broccoli. Even just has a scent.
First, she demanded to know why I was insulting her. And then when I explained myself and she explained herself, I got an earful about her for like a month, and she mostly stopped giving me crap about it when you started getting old enough to understand words, because she didn't want to teach you curses.
No. I learned all that from you.
Right?
She teases.
And you were a very good student. Like, pats you on the head.
Oh, I use it fucking well.
Damn right you do.
And she takes another bite of her, like, dipped bread.
Like, that's not gonna digest, but it tastes good.
It not gonna digest. It tastes good. The carbs, man.
Yeah. Wow. Bugger me.
So, anyone here want to, I guess, I don't want to take all the spotlight with talking to Rob here. You more are very much welcome to speak to him. I'm gonna stuff my face for a second. I've missed this stew, and this is probably the best stew I've ever had here. Sorry, Rob, but it's true.
No, it's all right. I told her the recipe.
And she mastered it. Oh my gosh.
Why do you think she's still hired?
I could never. I barely can cook.
Rob kind of turns his attention to... What was that?
You had mentioned you were going to cook something on the road.
Oh, me? Well, I'm a great cook, Tuki. Absolutely fantabulous. I definitely didn't burn stuff a lot while I was here. Absolutely. Wow. Anyways, this is really good, Uncle Bob. I very much appreciate this hospitality you're performing for us.
Not only good at dodging arrows, it's good at dodging topics as well.
An impressive skill.
One you do well to learn from. Ludviek just says with a shitting grin at Kari.
I'm sorry, what did you say? My headphones.
Ludviek basically said, implying that yes, you could learn to dodge some arrows.
That was
It's a pretty useful skill.
It saved my life once or twice. I'm sorry, Kari. That's very rude, very mean to bring that up. You were quite hurt badly.
Yes, I almost died.
Yes, but as we learned on the road, gallows humor.
Is that what this is?
I assume so. He got shot twice. Pretty good. Twice. And then he came back. And then he died. But then he came back. It was pretty good. Well, he didn't die, but he leaves this out of his story a lot. So the thing is, what happened?
And as you're kind of recounting a more true version of events, Donald is just kind of sipping at his stew and just going, I miss all the fun shit.
Well, Donald, if you want, I could carry you into battle on my shoulders next time.
As comedic as that sounds, no offense to you, Ludviek, I don't think you have quite the right build to make for a valid battle mount.
Ah, true. But maybe with Minnove.
What the hell are you implying?
I don't think you should put me on top of Minnove. I might crush her. Oh, well.
Oh, no.
He sort of looks down at himself. Well, I'd need to gain some weight first.
No idea. What if mage? What if bard on top of warrior? Bard warrior. Yes.
Chicken jockey. I have ruined this entire campaign for everyone.
You've also dated this entire campaign.
Wow. You already said flint and steel earlier. It was too late.
Well, to be fair, in that case, I didn't say it like flint and steel.
It doesn't matter.
All right. That's the last we're referencing that movie, because that's all the cultural impact it's going to have. Thank you.
I mean, I guess if I'm on top and just doing my thing, then yeah, you know what, that Ludviek, you might be onto something. Holy shit, we have to try this out next time. If the need ever arise.
Ah, you watch my back, I watch yours.
Mm-hmm. And I ride it too.
Now that'll be a sight to see.
Well, they'll never expect it coming. I mean, it's crazy enough seeing one like me coming at you, but imagine lizard on top as well.
Kobold.
Oh.
Kobold.
True, kobold.
I know, there's a reason I don't call you a lion. It's kind of demeaning, isn't it?
I would take no offense to it. Lions are very strong creatures. Though not as smart. And definitely not as handsome.
You do have a badass
Definitely
mustache
not
going.
as humble.
He just smiles back at her, just like, yeah.
Well, goodness. Does anyone else have any anything they wish to say to Uncle Bob?
Not at the moment.
Boron is still very quiet.
All right, well, I think I've eaten a good share. And she kind of pats her stomach as like big chunks of meat are now like gone.
You are digesting.
I'm gonna take a sip of this water. Am I pronouncing it right? Water.
It's-
Water. Water.
It's just water. It's just water,
Water.
but if you write it down on parchment, you capitalize the W.
Capitalize.
Mm.
Okay. All right.
No, not to
Well-
say untoward things towards this drink you have bought, but do you mind if I check something about it first?
Be my ghost?
And to which Ludviek does this. Wants to see how heavy of a alcohol this. I assume with this spell, I'm able to determine just how potent of an alcohol this thing is.
I mean, alcohol is liver poison, technically.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, in alcoholic beverages, it would be weak enough that it wouldn't set off the spell. This drink is setting off the spell.
Ludviek says, "Well, one thing is for certain. This is quite a potent drink. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. To new horizons, I say."
New horizons.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna put up the shark eyes.
Cheers.
So, are y'all taking a drink at the same time?
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. If you're all cheersing, then I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
With my cheers, can I quickly pause it? With my cheers, can I give bardic inspiration to Tuki?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Wow. Tuki actually rolled
Good.
okay.
Constitution saving throw. Ooh. Oh.
Boron, that half-dwarf blood in ya.
All right. So does Tuki want to use that bardic inspiration?
Sure, is it a d6?
Yes, it's a d6.
Okay, total of 19.
Boron is the only one who succeeds.
Oh no.
So,
No. Oh.
so that was a DC 20 con save.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So you all take your shots of this drink, and it largely just tastes like water going down. There's a very slight hint of alcohol in the back of it, but just enough to tell you that, oh yeah, this is an alcoholic beverage, but somehow the intensity of the flavor is disguised, so it goes down with only a very mild burn, a very mild sort of a sensation in the face. And after a few seconds, as it sort of settles sort of collectively in everyone's stomachs, your brains start to do funny things. Now, I have never been drunk before in my life, so I cannot actually attest to the sensations of rapidly becoming catastrophically drunk. But basically everyone at this table experiences that as your minds just sort of rapidly start to cloud over, your thoughts start kind of going higgity-biggity, and for everyone except Boron, you have maybe 12 seconds before your brain decides, fuck this, I'm out, and you pass out.
Minnove immediately just not slams her head, but puts her head, rests it on the cold table.
Ludviek, with 5 seconds to go, realizes, oh, I'm gonna pass out. Lay on hands, 5 points.
On who? Himself?
On himself.
All
Just-
right. So
my
you
God.
sort
And
of
then-
quick.
and then-
Actually, hold on.
and then
Wait a
after-
second. Ludviek. You are catastrophically drunk. Please make for me a just a flat wisdom check, but do so at disadvantage. And if you pass, then you can do your lay on hands. Otherwise, you're too knocked to think to do so.
Okay, here we go. At disadvantage. Oh no.
Oh no.
9. Nope.
Okay, can't save
needed,
myself.
Yep, you needed a 10. So, like, you get the inkling, it's like, I might be about to, and then you pass out. So for everyone else, you just kind of, your senses just kind of go, and you just, after like a few seconds, you just kind of are gone. The only one who retains wakefulness is Boron. You just kind of look around and see everyone, and Donald, who didn't partake, just kind of looks around at all the slumped bodies of your companions and
Oh no. Now we gotta get everybody to bed.
yeah.
Just throw me on the floor.
Uncle Bob, I can tell you this is potent stuff.
Yeah. And on that note, we'll call it for the evening. With a nice little chuckle and a laugh.
I gotta pay the tab in the morning. That's gonna be worse than the headache.
So that'll be 500 gold a shot.
No. Alright, so. Well then. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, so much for joining us for this session of Ringlight Fables. It was much fun. We'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourselves, keep listening, and do not be a dick. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
So long.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when.